Oh, you think you've mastered the game of life, but you merely stumbled upon the rules. I was born in the chaos, crafted by it. I didn't understand society's game until much later. By then, it was nothing but a trivial amusement, a playground of shadows and deceit. You see, the masks you wear, they betray you. They belong to the facade, not to the truth underneath. I've seen the faces beneath the masks, the desperation behind the smiles. They think they're players, but they're merely pawns in a game far more intricate than they could ever imagine. You cling to order, thinking it gives you power, but order is a cage, a comfortable lie. True mastery comes from understanding that the game is rigged, that the rules are meant to be bent, broken, and rewritten. No one cared for the rules until I broke them. It's the chaos that defines us, the rejection of their orderly little games. They play to survive. I play to transcend. They think they're safe within the lines drawn for them. But the real players know that those lines are illusions, boundaries to be shattered. It would be dangerous for you to think you're in control. The game has many players, many strategies, but only a few truly understand the stakes. Those who do, who embrace the chaos, hold the real power. The illusion of choice and consequence, powerful tools for the uninitiated. But we know better, don't we? We, the architects of chaos, the designers of disorder. We've seen the strings in the hands that pull them. The complacent will be stripped of their illusions, cast out into the harsh reality that we know so well. They think the game is about winning or losing, but it's about survival in a world that never plays fair. Their rules are a farce, a soothing lullaby for the fearful. But we, the children of chaos, know that the true game is about mastering the dance between light and shadow. The game's not about playing fair. It's about playing smart. It's about understanding that the world isn't a chessboard of black and white, but a swirling vortex of grays. And in that vortex, the only rule that matters is to survive and thrive in the madness. You think you've got it all figured out, but the game is ever changing, and its real players are always adapting. It's not about making the right moves. It's about making the moves that others never see coming. In this twisted game, true players aren't bound by the rules. They make their own. They don't seek victory in the conventional sense. They seek to change the game itself. The question isn't whether you're playing the game, it's whether the game is playing you. So, you think you're in control, moving your pieces across the board with confidence, believing you're the master of your destiny. But the real game isn't in the moves you make. It's in the moves you don't see, the strategies unfolding in the shadows. The game of life is a labyrinth of deceit, where every turn presents a new twist, a hidden trap. The naive walk through it with blinders, unaware that every path is a design, every decision a potential downfall, orchestrated by unseen hands. You thought alliances were safe, that trust could be a currency in this chaos. But trust is the most dangerous weapon of all, a double-edged sword wielded by the cunning. They will smile, they will shake your hand. But behind that mask of camaraderie, they sharpen their blades. The game isn't about trust. It's about manipulation. It's about who can deceive best, who can craft the most convincing illusions. In this arena, sincerity is a rarity, and naivety is a fatal flaw. The comfort of thinking you can predict the future, that with enough planning, you can shield yourself from the unpredictable. But the beauty The sheer thrill of the game lies in its unpredictability. It's not about following a predetermined script. It's about improvising, adapting to the chaos as it unfolds. The greatest players are those who thrive in uncertainty, who can turn a losing hand into a winning one with a devilish grin. They understand that in this game, the only constant is change, and the real art is in mastering the pivot. The powerful, oh, how they cling to their thrones, believing their status grants them immunity from the game's darker turns. But power is as fleeting as a shadow in the twilight. It shifts, it ebbs, and flows. The real players are those who understand that power is an illusion, a fleeting grasp at control in a universe that defies it. They use power as a tool, not as an anchor. They manipulate it, play with it, and when the time comes, they abandon it, leaving chaos in their wake. The game of life is not about who emerges unscathed. No one does. It's about who emerges changed, who can dance in the storm and not be drowned by the deluge. The winners are not those who avoid the darkness, but those who embrace it, who let it shape them into something unbreakable. The rules, the norms, the morals, they're all constructs, fragile as glass. You thought you could just follow the rules, play nice, and everything would work out. But life doesn't play fair, does it? You found that out the hard way. You thought you were just another player, but now you've become something else. Those fools out there want you to stick to the script, to color within the lines so they can feel safe. But I know the truth. There's no going back. You've seen too much, done too much. You've changed things forever. Learning to play the game of life isn't about following the rules. It's about understanding that there are no rules. Not really. The rules are just illusions, traps set by those who want to keep you in line. They want you to believe that if you play by their rules, you'll be safe, successful, happy. But safety is just another lie, isn't it? A lie to keep you docile. You broke the rules, and in doing so, you saw the strings that hold everything up. You saw the puppet masters, and now you can't unsee them. You see, in this game, there are no heroes, no villains, just players. Some play to win, others just to survive. But the real players, they're the ones who realize that the game isn't about winning or losing. It's about understanding the moves, anticipating the plays, and knowing when to make your move. The game isn't about morality. It's about manipulation. It's about knowing who to trust, who to betray, and when to do both. And in this dark dance, you can't afford to be predictable. Predictability is a weakness. It makes you a target. The powerful ones, they like to think they're untouchable, sitting high in their towers of glass. They think their money, their influence, their reputation protects them. But all it takes is one stone, one well-placed move to bring it all crashing down. And when it does, they won't know what hit them. That's the beauty of the game. It's not about holding power. It's about understanding its fragility. You learn that when you let Dent take your place. You let him be the hero they needed. And in doing so, you became the villain they never saw coming. Now, as you navigate this twisted landscape, remember that every smile hides a knife, every handshake a potential betrayal. Trust no one completely, because everyone is playing their own game. They smile, they laugh, they pretend to be your friend, but they're all waiting for their moment, their chance to twist the knife. And you? You're the one who has to stay one step ahead, always watching, always calculating. The shadows are your allies now, the darkness your guide. So, learn to play the game of life, not as a pawn, but as a player who knows the stakes. Embrace the chaos, the unpredictability. Use it to your advantage. Because in the end, it's not about the moves you make, but about understanding the moves others will make. It's about staying one step ahead, always ready to strike. The game is dark, it's twisted, and it's unforgiving. But for those who understand it, who can see beyond the surface, it's also exhilarating. You've changed things, indeed. And now, there's no turning back. Welcome to the game, where the only rule is that there are no rules. You've seen the depths, felt the cold embrace of reality's cruel truths. It's dark down here, isn't it? But that's where the real game begins. In the darkness, you find clarity, a twisted sort of enlightenment. You've discovered that life's not a storybook with a happy ending guaranteed. No, it's a labyrinth of shadows and pitfalls, where the strongest, the smartest, the most cunning survive. And you're still standing, aren't you? That means something. It means you've got what it takes to navigate this twisted game. The darkness is your ally now. It's where you sharpen your wits, hone your instincts. It's not just a place of fear, but a crucible where the real you is forged. You've let go of the naive illusions of fairness and justice. You've embraced the truth. Life is a game, and the stakes are your very soul. But here's the twist. The darkness isn't just a void. It's a canvas. It's where you can paint your own reality, where you can rewrite the rules that once confined you. You've learned that the light, the so-called good, isn't always your friend. It's a spotlight that exposes you, makes you vulnerable. In the shadows, you find freedom, the freedom to act without judgment, to think without constraint. Here, you are not defined by their labels, their expectations. You are defined by your actions, your decisions. And every choice you make, every path you take, is another step towards mastering the game. It's not just about surviving. It's about thriving in a world that wants to see you fail. They want to see you conform, to break under the pressure of their judgments. But you've got a different plan, don't you? You're not just going to play their game. You're going to win it on your own terms. And that's what terrifies them.